That looks much better. All right. So, what is your dream life? And that's going to be really different for each and every one of us. But, I think that there's some commonality, and the True Awesome Life objective. So my company's objective is really to help you design your true awesome life through proven personal and professional systems that ensure freedom. They foster creativity, they increase productivity, and optimize profitability. Okay. So basically, I want you to be happy and free and do what you want to do and live authentically and actually make money at it. Easy. So in this session, we're going to start the process of moving your mindset from employee all the way to CEO. Okay. And the way you start that is going to be really interesting. And so I'm going to give you some of the solid frameworks to start doing that for entrepreneur success. This is not going to be a sales fest, guys. I promise you, no sales fest. I am going to give you a little idea of what my program is about. At the very end, I'm telling you it's going to be less than 5 minutes. And I'm going to say, hey, book a call. If you know that you need some help, like really getting to do what your true awesome life, if you get to live your true awesome life, book a call with me, trueawesomelife.com/clarity. It's not going to be a sales fest there either. I'm going to actually ask you what you want, what your goals are, and see if there's something I can do to help you get there. Okay. So you are going to need a piece of paper and a pen. This is super important. There is a lot of writing. You might want to grab the notebook itself, the big notebook, because there is a lot of writing on this one. This is a work day. Okay. I'm not just going to go and say, oh, well, here we go. No, we're actually going to get some work done today. All right. And who am I, you might ask? I am a productivity coach. I have done accountability productivity for the last 3 years. I am nomadic with my 2 pups. Actually, I'll be completely nomadic in 1 week. I've been living in a fifth wheel. I've worked with artists, authors, and coaches. I have Fortune 500 companies in various different ways, creating systems and processes, doing stuff like that, websites, and I've pretty much done it all. I've been working online since 1997. So I'm the host of the Creative Nomad podcast, and I'm the producer of the Intuitive Entrepreneur podcast. So you guys both get to see those a lot if you're in this group. So I started managing restaurants in 1994. I know that seems like, oh my God, I'm so old now. And I started working on websites in 1998. So like full-time and as a job. Okay. And it's been interesting because I've been doing this for so long and I've seen the web go through all the different iterations. It's crazy. And I now know what you need, and it's not what you think, probably. And I went fully online in 2013. So if you love what you do, you will never work a day in your life. It's from Mark Anthony, and it's a really great quote. And today is really about finding it out, what you love to do and how you can not work and how you can live the life that you really want. So step 1 is to find your purpose. Yay! We're going to find a purpose. It's going to wake you up every morning. It's going to keep you going on the bad days, and it will allow you to feel fulfilled. And I have this really great exercise, and we're going to go through that. And the consequences of not living your purpose is really, it could be really extreme. And I could tell you what mine was. It was a breakdown. Okay. Back about 3, maybe 4 years ago, I was working with the financial services company. I was, really coaching people on finances. And I thought that was really cool because a lot of people, have money issues and the money conversations. And when you actually get to play with this, it's one of those things that really, when you get to this center of that, it really does start opening things up. And it's one of the things that we do for my program still. But the company I was working with had a very high pressure, not high pressured sales technique, but a high pressure for performance technique. Okay. And it was great. And I performed. I was good. I did well. Things were good. Things were great for a while. And then I just started having some issues in my life. I'm in this like really fast pace, you know, thing. And then I had my mom went to the hospital, who I was taking care of at the time, and I was a full-time caregiver to her, living caretaker. My and like all these things started happening, and then my dog died, and that was like the straw that broke the camel. And I would walk downstairs because my space was downstairs, and I'd walk down there, and I would find myself waking up covered in coffee, and I couldn't do anything. I really, I was totally devastated, totally bereft, totally not okay. And I did a whole process. If you guys didn't watch the challenge on Design Your Mind, that really is challenge, really came out of that space. But I've been a coach and I've been doing all kinds of things, right? And what I wasn't doing was living in my purpose. See, finances were, it was about, in the company I was working for, it was more about the sales than it was about the coaching, right? And so it was very super high pressure. It really wasn't in my wheelhouse, and it really wasn't who I was. So today, I want to really go through an exercise that I've learned and tweaked and developed to actually find your purpose. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get centered. Okay? So I want you to take a nice deep breath, and I want you to put your hand over your heart. Okay? Kind of tap your heart. And I want you to remember something that makes you feel love, like that ooey gooey cotton candy, sick teenage love, and just open up that heart and really feel your heart open up. We don't want to put down any walls. We won't want any negativity here. For me, I have this image of Teddy, the dog that passed, and the first time we actually went running in a field. And so he's always, been on a leash or in a yard, and we were in this big, huge baseball diamond, and there was no one at the park. So I went and let him off the leash, and he went running. He went running as fast as he could and as far away. And then I whistled, and he started coming back, and the look on his face as he came back always seems to open up my heart, and feel that energy radiate through your body. Now that we're centered, and when you grab your piece of paper and your pen, and I want you to think about your happiest memory from your childhood. Okay? I want you to write down all the emotions you are feeling. So for me, one of the happiest memories I can think of is being with my little brother, and we were playing on the swings. And I was way in front of my time. Like even way back then, I was helping him work out, which me being a fitness coach is laughable. But I was using his body weight, and we were using the swings to really move his arms and his muscles. And I remember feeling very loved and protective of my brother, and really honored that I got to help him in this way. And free. It's still one of my favorite places in the world to be is on swing set. Exhilaration. So how about you? What are you seeing? What do you have? What's your happiest memory from your childhood? Write down all those feelings. And I'm just checking to see if there's any comments, anything I need to know. Hi, Vanessa. Thanks so much. You're overthinking, Vanessa. If you just the happiest memory you can think of from your childhood, just what comes to mind right there. Don't overthink. And I would say anything under 10. So it doesn't have to be 5 years old, just something from your childhood. And whatever that is that you're thinking right now, that's probably it. All right. So next. Oh, yeah. Write down all the emotions you remember feeling in that moment. Next, I want you to think of their happiest memory from your teens. Don't think too hard. Don't work too hard at it. Just like what's right there. I can tell you it was me. I was in winter guard and I did this toss. It was a triple. It ended up being like a triple or a quad. It was like stupid high. It was stupid long. And I had to spin around underneath it because there was an odd member and everyone else was kind of switching flags. But mine, I just had to spin underneath. And this flag just went up like crazy. And it was this like big, huge moment, right? And I caught it. And I remember just like feeling the energy of that, the exhilaration, the crowd, the applause, the craziness of that whole thing. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to write down all the emotions you remember. So exhilaration and excitement and fear actually was there, right? I was afraid I wasn't going to catch it. I overthrew it. I overtossed it. It was too high. I've never thrown anything that high in my life. I still haven't thrown anything that high since. It was only in that moment. And coming off that floor was one of my happiest moments. Connection to my team. That was big. Love. Alrighty. And next, I want you to write down your happiest memory from your adulthood. Again, don't overthink this. Don't go, oh, that's not happy enough. Whatever came right there. Now I can tell you that I had a different memory in my teens than I normally do. But it was the one that was right there. I felt invincible in that moment. So the happiest memory from adulthood. My happiest memory from adulthood would probably have to be the day that I got engaged. I was so nervous and so excited. And when I asked him, it was the most amazing look on his face. He was so shocked, and I thought that he knew. I had bought a ring, and I felt loved and connected and happy and excited and hopeful. As we're writing down all of the emotions that we remember. So yeah, in these moments, there's a lot of things there. And really try not to cloud it with what happened next. right? Just remember the memory as a pure memory of that moment. Step into that space. Many of you guys know that that story didn't end well, but in that moment, I was happy. Okay. So next, I want you to look through that and what 3 emotions do these memories have in common? So for me, freedom comes up and excitement and um, being authentic and connected. Love. I probably should have wrote all those down too. All right. So, want to know the secret? Your purpose is to live in those 3 emotions and help others do the same. So mine is connected, loved, and freedom. So I want you to read that out loud. My purpose is to live in freedom, connection, and love, and help others do the same. Say it again. My purpose is to live in the first emotion, the second emotion, and your third emotion, and help others do the same. How does that feel for you? What does that, where did you feel that in the body? You know, message me down below. Let me know, where did you feel that in the body? What did that bring up for you? So next, now that we got our purpose, right, and we know what our purpose is, now it's time to start living in that purpose. Because without that, like I said, you have breakdown. There's always this emptiness that you're not feeling when you're not living in your purpose and you're not keeping your purpose in the forefront, right? That feeling goes away. And you start to not feel like your life is where you want to be. There's this hollowness. And there's many ways to live your purpose, okay? So this is not saying, oh, I have to be a coach, right? We're going to get into that next. So Holly, when I was working with Jen Holly of Quantum Impact Coaching, she says this all the time, and it was a real big, huge shift in her mindset and her life. And it's do what you love in service of those who do what you those who love what you do. I can actually say that out loud. And it's from Steve Farber, and she heard him speak. And really, what does that mean? So if you're living your purpose, you want to be in service of those who want to love what you do. So next, we're going to do an exercise that I call what can you do exercise. And this is fun, right? I want you to write down everything you could do to make money. I don't want you to edit yourself. Okay, I want you to write it all down. Like, write it all. I could be a porn star. Like, whatever that looks like for you, right? I could do this. I can wait tables. I could go, I can mow lawns. I could, you know, there's all kinds of things I could do to make money right now. I could design websites. I could go and really be a whole different, there's all kinds of things. So while we do this, I have some music. We're going to I'm going to give you 3 minutes to actually do this. And I want you to really just write it down. Don't edit, don't think, don't go anywhere. I just want you to look at that, okay? And I am trying to get to that, and it's not letting me. Fun. So let me see if I can find it here. Technical difficulties, folks. You know, I love it. Just start writing. We'll have some music in just a second to help you play with that. Or we won't. I'll give you about 2 more minutes. Just write down whatever comes to mind. Really, don't edit here. I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide? Unfortunately, if I do too much more of that, Facebook might actually put me on mute. Da, 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 da. Alrighty. Give you about 1 more minute here. All right, and now, of course, it's not going to let me do what I need to do. There we go. Out of which of those can you live in your purpose in? Okay, so this is also kind of tricky because, like for me, help people. So my purpose is to live in freedom and connection and love, right? That's my purpose. So I can actually do that as a waiter, right? Because I can go in and I could just be love and connection, and that will allow me to be free. Not so much as what I do now, but it could be. I can work, depending on the restaurant, I can work 2 or 3 days a week, make decent money. And the dogs want to talk to me too. All right, so you crossed off all the ones or circled all the ones that you could do in your purpose. Now, out of those, which ones do you love to do? Now, I really don't want to be a waiter. So I love coaching because I get to work from anywhere. I'm going to really put that into play starting next week. When in the next week I'll be in Chicago. Starting next Thursday, I'll be in Chicago, St. Louis, Mississippi for a week, New Orleans for a week, and then I'll be on the Gulf Coast for a month. And I go back to New Orleans for a week. And I get to do all that because I can work from anywhere. Now there's a whole bunch of other things I could do. I could do customer service, like phone service. I could do, so there's all kinds of other ways I could do that, right? To live my freedom. But would I help you live in freedom doing anything else? Next. Oh, no niche is too small if it is yours by Seth Godin. So now we're going to kind of talk about who, right? And the reason why that's important is because if you're surrounded by people that you absolutely hate, it doesn't matter if you're living in your purpose, right? It doesn't help you. You are going to be drained, okay? And again, that comes down to what I was doing before. I had amazing people around me. Like around me, the people that worked with me were amazing. They're awesome. I still listen to the person that ran the company for motivation. He wrote a book. I listen to his podcast. It's awesome, right? But the people I was working for, it was like pulling teeth. And I don't want to be there. They don't love what I do. So these are the people exercises next, right? So this one's gonna be fun. All right, so I want you to look at your current social media network. And I want you to write down 3 to 5 people in each of these categories. The first one is, who makes you smile? Like really, every time you think about them, they make you smile. Next, who makes you think? Seth Godin is someone that makes me think. Chad and Holly are someone that make me think. Max makes me think. Who do you comment the most positively on? All right. So we all comment, right? And we all react sometimes. And once in a while, there's something. I have a cousin that posts the most idiotic BS I've ever seen in my life. And for some reason, that cousin, I want to like annihilate on social media. And I turn into a troll. I bring up facts and figures and like totally just go off on this person to the point I had to actually not follow them. Because, it's like, it really was like triggering everything in me. So that's not a positive comment, but I was doing it quite frequently, right? Positive commenting. And then, who responds most positively to your posts? So there are some people that really do like comment a lot on my stuff, right? And it's pretty consistent. About 15 people. Now, my friends, is the fun part. What group would all these people belong to? So for me, who makes me smile and the people that really make me think really are authors and artists or coaches. I tend to comment really positively on the posts, and they are the ones that talk to me. And I'm kind of bummed that you guys didn't get to hear the music, because it was a really good friend of mine that really iterates this whole thing. So I work with coaches and creatives. They make me happy. I want you to be a creative entrepreneur. So that could look in a lot of different ways. They could be actual artists, they could be authors, they could be coaches, they could be groomers. I have a grooming client right now. That's amazing. I'm working with someone, she's a coach. She's moving from, so, you know, I work with authors. I have worked with authors for years and years and years. They are how I actually left my full-time corporate job. So, you know, what does that look like for you? What group do they belong into? What groups do you find yourself speaking in the most? Those would all be there. All right, you guys ready to move on? So now we kind of know what our purpose is, right? I want to kind of go back. We know what our purpose is, and we know what it is, how we can actually live in our purpose, right? And we know who kind of, we have start having an idea of who we want to work around, right? Who we want to be around. Now we just want to know, what do you want more of in your life? So for me, it was travel and music. So I deal with a lot of tech. Obviously, I deal with a lot of tech. I do a lot of the stuff that I do is around tech, right? So I want more singing. I want more music in my life. I tend to not even turn on my radio anymore. I don't have music playing when I'm working, which is like unheard of for me. And this picture is actually me singing in Chicago because my bank account got frozen and I was in Chicago and needed food. So I sang on the street corner for breakfast. It was the funnest, most exhilarating, craziest thing I've probably ever done in my life. But I didn't make enough for breakfast. And it just goes to show you there's all kinds of different ways to bring what you want more of in your life to your life and make money at it. Now, could I make a living at that? Probably not. I mean, I could make gas money if I was in need and was in a busy enough spot. So what do you want more of in your life that will feed your purpose, that will feed your soul, right? So freedom, you know, singing for me is freedom. It's connection. If you haven't been watching, I am doing a song a day in May over on my Instagram, so you might want to look that up. If you're watching this later, you can go and look it up. There's a thing in my Instagram. It's a folder. So I want to talk to you a little bit about my program. All right. And what it is a true awesome life mastermind. And it's going to be amazing. It's a 97-day program because we're going to need 7 days of kind of setup. And it's designed to implement systems to go from employee to entrepreneur to CEO. All right, because it's a completely different mindset. You know, as an employee, you're used to being told exactly what to do, how to do it, and what's going on. As an entrepreneur, you start getting that freedom of, okay, great, you know, I could do it any way I want to. But as a CEO, you have to realize that you have to define that. And you have to put the systems in place to actually make it work so that you don't have to do it all the time. And you can think higher. How can you build this? What do you need to do to build it? What do you need to do? So I have a step-by-step video instruction set up each system, including orders of importance. And I actually have someone that actually builds your back-end system for you. So I'm just teaching you how to use it, right? We have a weekly mindset thing. Today we did some of that work, freeing up what it is that you want to do, what your purpose is, things like that. And then we have support. We have a weekly group call. We have daily check-ins in our Facebook group and strategic one-on-one calls. I'm always available to you guys, right? To really go through and figure out what it is that we need to do. So if that's something that might be interesting to you, or you want to learn more, or you just, it's like, oh, cool, I could use some help. Or there's something that you really just need help with. I've done a whole bunch of different versions of this, right? I've been in branding for years. I went to school for communications. I was a coach for 3 years working with people in marketing. There's a lot of things I can help with. So let's have a chat and see where it is that you're doing and what it is that can move you forward. So to do that, you go to trueawesomelife.com/clarity. I'm going to actually put it in this comment. I need a Jeff. And look, guys, I really enjoy being with you guys. Like I said, this was not a sales fest. This was really a working session. And know that each and every one of you are loved. Reach out to me if any of this is unclear or you have any questions, please. And know that each of you are loved. I will see you guys soon.
The working crew's leaving on a space detail.
This state of zero gravity